Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Awesomenauts Rumble May Gather stream. My name is Mr. Pillow, and with me once again is Uberency.
Hello everybody, and we're back after the first set of the stream. And, well, we're on our second set now, between two entirely new matches, which you can probably see from the stream. But, yes, I'm Uberency, and we are back and ready to roll. And I'm excited to cast the second set of the day.
Indeed, looks like it's going to be a really good match. It's Team Bread versus Afternoon Smooth. Two new teams. Afternoon Smooth has been kind of coming out of nowhere with players that really don't have any competitive experience, but they've been scrimming a lot and winning and doing actually really well. We casted them on the scrim show just what is it? It wasn't the last one. It was the one before that, I think. That where we saw Crafted Nightmare do like this incredible Lone Star triple kill, but then the base died due to droids. Yeah, so it's gonna we got Roach Cake, who's been considered one of the best solo queue clunks out there, but I believe it's his competitive debut as well. I want to remind everyone one that we are currently doing our give bet system. Guess who you think is going to win in the chat? Team Bread, that's the Garlic Galore, that's Citro, that's Pancakes, making their competitive debut as well. Type who you think is going to win, red team or blue team. Guess correctly to be eligible for a giveaway after the match. You have until the match begins to get your guesses in. There is no formal command, we are just keeping track of it, and the our moderators are keeping track of it. So, Uberency, what do you think about these matches? About this match up, I should say.
Well, we've got two pretty... Well, there's some core knots that you see a lot, but still some kind of unusual picks. But anyways, getting into the picks, the map is Aguilon. Again, hope you don't get sick of this map, or French people, because there's a lot of them on both.
Yeah,
there's
if y'all think that like every match is just played on Aguilon, no, just everybody keeps picking Aguilon to play on.
They want to have their sick invis kills for their montages. But anyways, for the red team, for Team 1, Afternoon Smooth, we've got the band knots being Vinny and Ted, and the pick knots being Clunk, Dirkple, and Scree. And for Team 2, Team Bread, we've got the band knots being Genji and Skoldir, and the pick knots being Deadlift, Ix, and Lux. So for Team 1, you've got two nukes, like actual nukes. That is like, these are the OG nukers, like they actually use nukes as their nuking ability. And then you got Scree, who does a lot of damage, has really good clear, and has the potential to stop enemies from pushing and helping push and all that with the totem. Very good. Its auto attack is very easy to land, and has that fork, can be quite nice for poking. Scree's he's not seen very often, but he is a pretty solid character in the right circumstances. And on a Aguilon having a crowded bottom area can be really, really good for Scree. So you see a lot of different knots come out on Aguilon or Ribbit than you do, say, Surrender AI Station, just because of the way the maps are designed. And for Team 2, with Deadlift, Ix, and Lux and Deadlift are definitely more traditional picks, and so is Ix as well. Ix has been showing up a lot more as well. He's got those iframes, he's got the refract, so he can just soak up damage, and he's got this swap ability, which could be very, very good. Swap it to Lux, and then you pin him into your turret. Swap into Deadlift, just, lunge into, like, auto attacks. Swap into pretty much anything that'll get them killed. That's what you do. But, yeah, I don't know who I really think is in favor. Maybe Team 2, they've got a slightly more traditional comp, and Lux is really strong on Aguilon, and Ix can definitely just get some swaps. You can just swap someone in front of Lux, and then, well, that's it for them. And Deadlift is great for soaking up damage and dealing damage in a team fight. You can just kind of go in, do about 300 damage with his auto attack, get a power lunge, and then just leave. He's got a shielding that gives him like 600 health. But what do you think?
I think we have to releases more and more dirtball hard counters. Because he just completely body blocked Shimmy from doing some sort of cheeky charge.
That's true.
Terrible for him. He takes so much damage. The only thing that the Jimmy can really do is buy Pacifier and use that to try and tank the nuke. But when you consider silence charges and all that good stuff, Pacifier is going to be really good for the Jimmy, but he'll use it for the explode or the nuke, and they're not going to be dumb enough to use it all during that. Pacifier is the thing that gives him the health back of whatever he shields, and it's really, really good because when he combines that with the actual charge shield upgrade, I basically like to think of it as a staggered shield. So if, for example, you upgrade Jimmy's current shield to 45%, then you're healing whatever you shield. That's basically a staggered 9% shield. Meaning that if you could tank the additional 45 damage without dying, then that means you actually had a 90% long. But, as long as, they don't use all their abilities when charging, be really easy to find that Jimmy, deal a lot of damage to him. Yeah, if he charges someone into a turret, that's going to deal a lot, but Clunk is really hard to push as Jimmy. Really easy when they're kind of jumping up and down, trying to get past each other. Clunk usually makes it into a deadlock where neither player is moving. Screeds, Totems, you got Durple, who's literally immobile. Snares, that's not the comp that Jimmy charges people into turrets for. On the other hand, you do have Protected Pose, you know, you have that, you do have Pacifier, you have the invincibility frames from Ix, you have Micey the Mech Pilot, a lot of things to nullify the damage from the red team on the flip side. And if it comes down to a brawl where just all the teams are going in with their auto attacks, the blue team is definitely a huge value. Like, the red team is the burst team here, the blue team is the team that, like, if that fight lasts more than 5 seconds, it's gonna go in their favor. They just need to work around these explodes, these saw blades, these stones, snares, which is not an easy task. They can do it though. Like the cleanup from Jimmy and Ix is insane. The setup, if they can actually find it, is insane. And they have the abilities to do it when you consider all the sustain, the iframes, the protective pose that they have. So they have to play their comp right, but I think like if they do, then I'm gonna have to give it to the blue team.
Yeah, I agree, and I see where you're coming from with Lux having a lot of trouble with Durple as well. I didn't even think about that. I'm smart, but yeah, I feel like the blue team just has a slightly stronger comp, but Durple could do some serious work here as well as Clunk. But either way, we've talked about the drafts long enough. I am ready to get his chime at the 20-second or 21-second mark in the replay. Are you ready to roll?
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, and go. We're off on the red side of things. You have Crafted Nightmare playing your Scree. You get Roach Cake playing the Clunk, and you've got Namba playing the Durple on the blue side of things. You got Pancakes playing the Ix, the Garlic, the Garlic Bread, Garlic Lord, Garlic Bread. Nice, I see what he did with this back there. Nice pun. You totally confused me. Garlic Lord is playing the Jimmy the Lux 5000, and you got Seachel playing the Deadlift. So, and with that, it's kind of a neutrality going on so far. Namba kind of staying behind, just trying to see and make sure they keep their own jump pad rotation protected by snares. And the blue side, they're just clearing the droid. Someone's finding a rogue engagement. Namba's just gonna kind of poke in there, kind of stick his toe in, see what happens. They find some push, they get a nuke off on the turret. You get the totem, and there's actually gonna be a fight coming out here. And Pancakes is gonna swap himself into a snare. Roach Cake gonna come down, get the hit, and Jimmy is gonna charge out. Namba going for the cat assassination.
Oh my god!
Trying to get that back.
Oh my god!
That was sick. He actually went back. He managed to turn that into a frag on deadlift somehow. That was actually really, really well done.
Oh my god, that was, he just went in for the deadlift, just like assassinate with cats, but he got the deadlift anyways, so I think it worked out. But Pancakes might try to go for the swap here. He is gonna get the bond. He's gonna right click. No, he's not. Namba just going to be able to drop down into that bottom lane, place a snare trap, and back up to live another day. We got Garlic Bread. We got him on the top lane, along with Digital Bread. And Crafted actually invis, but they know he's there now. They're doing a bit of damage here and there. There's the auto attacks. And now he's just going to throw out the saw blade, but nothing's going to happen. And he's going to go down to the danger pins from Garlic Bread. And well, we got Roach Cake and Namba. They are they're just kind of on the top lane. There's a snare bite coming out, and well, really just a little bit of poke here, get a bit of healing, no real initiations. They do not have Scree. The red team does not have the best initiation, but if they get a snare trap into well, pretty much anything, then you know you've got Scree, Saw Blade, you've got Explode, which is going to do some work here, and it's going to melt that shield on Deadlift, and they're going to be able to pick up the frag on him, and another kill for the red team here. And now we've got Nanba just on this bottom lane. I keep wanting calling him Banana. I don't know why. I know his name is Nanba, but I keep wanting to say Banana. It's so weird. But anyways, he's pushing this bottom lane here.
I'm pretty sure he used to have a Steam profile picture of a banana too.
Really?
I'm like 60% sure. 60%. So
your nickname is now Banana. I'm forcing it right now. All 60 people watching are going to agree with me now. But anyways, Pancakes are gonna. Pancakes gonna look for the swap.
What is this?
Yeah. But anyways, we've got X looking for the swap. Maybe there's the trap right there. He's gotta be careful he doesn't walk into that, and then got exploded. But the explode is gonna come out and the bite, but they're both going to whiff. There's the healing onto Lux, but he's going to take a ton of damage there from something. I'm assuming a nuke, most likely Derples. And, well, we got Banana clearing the bottom lane, as well as just Lux clearing as well. Just getting the poke. Not too many heavy initiations so far. And, well, they're just kind of doing whatever. There's not too much initiation on either team. Blue team definitely has some. Like, you know, you've got Lux who can get behind people and then charge them. Although the snare traps make that harder. You've got Ix for the swap, but you can't swap Derpal if he's sieged. Can you? I think you can, maybe.
Can't. No, you can't.
Okay.
Not if he's siege. Now, you can still bond him, but it just swapping won't do anything. And if he unsieges...
okay.
Yeah, that's gonna have to wait a second, though. He's not... No one's getting swapped for a second, because Ix got swapped back to the drop pods. Haha, XD.
Nice. Good joke. Funny joke. Hilarious streamer, everybody.
Yeah, no
just
problem,
congratulated. But anyway, here's the push onto this bottom turret. Gonna get melted with Lux going in with the danger pins and missiles, but the totem is gonna soak up most of that damage. That turret is gonna go down in 3, 2, 1. Just kill the turret, Banana. Oh, but no, he's gonna get pinned into the turret. Roach Cake is gonna get killed by getting pinned into that turret, and Pancake's gonna pick up the last hit with the frag. And I'm pretty sure that turret is still not dead. No, it looks like it's dead on the mini map, but it's still got just like an itty bitty little speck of health here. One auto attack shot will kill that thing. But Agilon Invis is going to come out, and Lux is just going to burn it, do a little bit of damage to Banana, Nanba, whatever. But Lux is just going to fall back, nothing too special. But Blue team is very low health on the turrets. The bottom turret is practically dead. It doesn't even show up on the minimap because it's got so little health. And that top turret has about 3 bars, so if the red team can pick up a frag here, they can kind of just roll over those turrets and do whatever they want. But, yeah, not too much coming out. The missile poke here and there. There's a lot of poke going on. There's not too many heavy initiations all the time because it's kind of hard for both teams to do that because of their comps. You got all this health and you got all these, you got Derpal with debuff immunity, but you got the snare traps to stop Lux from going in. Well, the red team just doesn't have much initiation. That turret is finally going to go down. The swap is not going to happen. Bond is going to get broken before he can get that right click in. But, Garlic Blade and... what his teammates and whatnot are going to be going and going to try to go for the swap. He's just not... Pancakes is just not right-clicking. If he gets these right clicks, he can easily get someone killed. But he's just overestimating the range of Bond. And, oh, the nuke is actually going to kill Pancakes down on bottom with Roach Cake picking up that nice flag. And, well, Sechel Bread and Garlic Bread are going to be defending this bottom lane. And I'm going to stop saying bread like that because it's annoying. But,
bread.
Nana... bread! But Banana going to be... Here's the nukes. You stop. You Mr. Kesnia. But we've got both the nukes coming out onto the top turret, doing a good chunk of damage, with Sechel just clearing up top. And now the blue team is going to have to deal with these super droids. The blue team is getting kind of outpushed here because the red team doesn't have initiation, but they're like a wall. You can't really get rid of a wall that easily unless you have a lot of force. And, well, they do have that force sometimes with Ix and Lux. It's hard for them to find that force. So, you know, got to find those pressure points in the wall so that they can actually break it. And with Nanba Banana there, he's in siege mode, just got that shielding up as well to make it even harder to break him. And, well, blue team just is not much they can do. They're just defending and looking for the initiation.
Fat cat creep pick up there. He like threw one fat cat in the jungle and hit both creeps and stole them from the
I didn't see that, but that sounds pretty cool. Oh, here comes the nuke and the fight.
Yeah, he had to charge out of there. And now they're just going to get a free push here. They take the totem, they take a bar, and like... That was actually really confident how they stepped up there and just kind of just pushed the blue team out, did some push, and now they're going back. And Crafted Nightmare's got a good 550 solar to spin. We'll see what he picks up here. He's going to finish off Saw Blade, pick up Star Storm Statue, finish that off, and get Ceremonial Mask, meaning that it's going to hit every target on his screen every 2 seconds. That's going to be really, really devastating for the blue team, who does not like to get gradually poked down like that if they can't go and punish it. And Garlic Lord going to get caught out here, but the swap is going to iframe the explode, and now they're taking the fight, but Dribbble's still going to get out the frag off from Pancakes.
Oh god, the auto attack!
And that might be white. Nah. If he missed a few of the missiles there. If like blue team landed all their attacks and we had something like, I don't know, auto attack damage on the Jimmy, it would have been frag. Sechel is going to be dodging the explode. He's going to leap clunk back, but so much more that he can do besides that. And he's just trying his best to keep the red team distracted. Like, I mean, they're auto attacking him, not the turret right now, so that's good. I mean, that's you know, he's really playing that right there and actually getting them out. Now, looking at what builds right now, I guess, do the blue team need to be going into? What do they need to be picking up right now in order to turn this around?
Well, we're seeing really basic luck stuff with regen and lifesteal on your rattle waves, so that's pretty basic stuff you see on Lux, but I'm wondering if maybe he should build into missile damage. Maybe get Micey and some missile damage and just, you know, try to get the poke on this Durple here, because he's got all that shielding, but, you know, missiles do about 800 to 1,000 damage depending on what level you are, but Cecil Bread is actually going to pick up that frag on Crafted with the auto attacks. He's going to try and teleport out, but Roach just chased him, but he's so slow. Clunk is too fat of a robot, and Banana gonna try and find a snare trap or something. Not gonna be able to get it. Roach Cake is gonna miss the explode, but then there's the snare trap onto Sechel and the missile bite combo onto Pancakes, and he's gonna go down once again. And well, red team's gonna be able to stabilize it, and they're gonna get that wall going once again. And Scree just getting back. And well, blue team, or excuse me, the red team just clearing bottom. Blue team just trying to distract and get some pressure in finally, but they just can't do it because the red team is just like it's hard to push against the red team, just because of the snare traps and stuff. Like, if you're not careful, you get caught in a snare trap, you could just die, or you just have to sit there for 2 seconds with that extra snare duration, and silence can be, well, it's not very fun to deal with.
Indeed. And we see kind of a moment of footsie knots going on right now. That's when just both teams are kind of looking at each other, you know, when to go in. They might start a fight right now. Someone should be picking something. We see Saw Blade, we see Ixbon, we see Protective Pose, all get consumed. I'd like to see some engagement going on here. Doesn't see that we see it yet. Missiles are going to be fished out, but they're not going to find anything. I'd really like to see Jimmy getting the Mice of the Night Pilot here. That's really good to get Scree. It makes it harder for him to aim the Saw Blade. It makes it hard for Clunk to land Explode. Even if he lands a snare, if he gets the Mice of the Night Pilot, that could be really, really, really good for his team. Like, because those abilities get waves so they can go in extremely hard. Crafton trying to set up the play here. He's in biz with the totem, and there comes the trap off, and now they go in. They're dealing a lot of damage, but
that was
he
a good
is going
charge.
to regret it. His team was not there to follow up. Honestly, if I would have liked to have been able to like see Clunk go in with the explode there.
There's the
but now
swap.
he's going to get cut off, and yeah, he doesn't have anything. This should be a frag in the favor of the blue team. But in the meantime, throughout all this, he might pick up the double kill.
Oh, no way!
Oh, the Durple Elder God, what in the world? That was so well done, but he almost found that frag. And now Jimmy's going back to contest Namba. They can't push against Namba, who is just sieged up in the middle of the top lane, and they're not even able to do anything. They didn't get any push off of 2 for nothing, or excuse me, a 2 for 1. Jeez, these guys. That Durple is playing really, 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 really well.
Yeah, Namba / Banana is playing. He's playing good. Like that's the thing. It makes it hard to push against a Durple like this because he's just he's got those snare traps. He's got the 2.5 second snare trap with the silence, auto attack, like siege mode. He's getting nuke damage. It's just too good. Craft is gonna maybe go down. He is gonna go down to the power launch, but here comes Namba going in with the nuke. Gonna do a ton of damage, but the shielding from Deadlift is gonna prevent a good chunk of it. Roach Cake is gonna pick up a kill on Garlic. Yeah, getting too greedy. Even with all that sustain, you gotta be careful, as Lex said. But now the blue team is finally getting some turret damage in, and they might even take this top turret. I don't think so, but they're gonna do a good chunk of damage here with Namba finally getting back. That turret being at about 2 bars. Finally come those droids. There's the snare traps. And, well, oh, here comes the nuke. Not going to hit anything, though. Don't think he hit Sechel through the wall there. But now Roche is in a bad spot. Can he jump up? He is going to have the jumps to go up there. But Ix has them as well. Ix has all those air jumps despite being a mobile character. Thanks, Ronimo. But he's not going to be able to pick up the kill on Clunk. And Clunk is going to be able to get away. Well, Crafted is just kind of running around. There's the Invis on Crafted. Actually, he gets him done with the Saw Blade. But Sechel Price is going to go down. So all the damage from Clunk and the nuke to finish him off. And then we've got Pancakes, maybe look for the swap, to do a bit of poke damage, but he's taking too much damage from Scree's auto attack as well. And Roach and Nanba all very low. Roach is going to teleport back from Nanba's just going to grab a creep and go back in with the snare traps. That top turret having 1 bar now, being so damn hurt. But red team just clearing, you know, like the blue team still hasn't been able to get much push. They're having trouble just kind of just getting past the red team and killing that tower. That's all they need to really do, even though they are behind in kills, but not really experienced. The red team has just been keeping that slight edge over them, and they've got such hard like area control and defenses to penetrate that, well, the blue team can't do too much unless they get a wipe or maybe 2 kills here.
Indeed, and you know, it's easier said than done. They can do it. We really need to see more damage coming out. We see PKM coming out on the Jimmy, which is going to really help him deal with all these snares. Oh, and here goes the Exploder. That's going to have to wait a second. It's going to take out the protected pose, and now he's going to get caught in the snare. Roach Cake's still going in. He's going to land the bite. He's going to land the auto attack and pick off Seachel right in front of that shield. That snare was really good. Jimmy is in Fizz, but they know it, and he's taking a lot of damage. He might go for a play here, but the red team is full health. Clunk is really hard to push, and you know, you have the totem ready, and they're playing so aggressively that, you know, they don't necessarily care they get charged into that turret there. But here it comes, and Jimmy's just gonna, you know, deal a little bit of damage, and that's about it. Look at that lighting, just constantly getting that poke in. Pancake's is gonna quickly heal up his teammate now. They might try and take it right here. Here comes the Explode, though, and they manage to find the protective pose. Tank that, and the red team is actually, if they can kite it, they might be able to find a frag, but okay, blue team is not going to try it. The blue team could have gone in, they would just have to make sure that they, you know, didn't take too much damage and they cleaned it up fast. But yeah, it's that was just kind of that was a good fight for them, but I guess they did, it would have been high risk, high reward. I'll give it that. I want to see Jimmy picking up the auto attack damage. You know, that is like insanely cost effective damage. Like, Jimmy is going to consider unbalanced because he's a tank that deals out way too much damage, and a lot of it is stored on his auto attack. And right now he's got the shield on auto attack, and I really like to see the auto attack damage coming out, because the more damage you have, the more threatening you are to go in. The less the, you know, they like that. They just kind of go in because, you know, they're not scared of what's going to happen.
The salvo. Juggernaut Fat Pete with double missile. That's brutal. And they're going to pick up the last frag and get the wipe. Just to give you an idea of how much damage that does, I didn't see the exact number, but you've got Salvo, and then you've got Juggernaut Fat Pete, which is 100, that's double damage of your normal smaller missile. And then you have double missile damage. He probably did like about 700 damage with that one auto attack shot. And now the red team's going to be able to take this bottom tower and get base exposure. And the tower is going to go down, and now the blue team, being back and ready to roll after that disastrous team fight, are going to be able to defend here with the red team just kind of building up their giant friggin' wall again. And Nanba Invis going to maybe look for a cheeky snare trap and then get a drop nuke or something. But there's not too much he can do with that yet. He's just blocking droids, and now they all know he's there. If he just places a snare trap like right on Bread, he could be cheeky, but it doesn't look like he's going to attempt that. And Biz is going to run out in just a moment here. And, well, it looks like he's just going to burn it to kill some droids. And blue team just clearing as well, deal with this super droid on bottom. And Pancake's going to take a lot of damage there from Clunk, but the nuke is going to come out. It's going to do a lot of damage to Seachel, but he's super hurt. But Roach going to get the snare bite. Oh, and the salvo! Roach has been nailing those salvo missile shots all game. Just the bite into double Juggernaut Fat Beat is just like OP, just like 700 damage. And you were talking about Lux doing a lot of damage. Although you need really specific conditions, Clunk can really match that damage with his missiles. It's insane. But Roach just kind of doing a ton of damage to the tower. He's got the multi-bite as well on those droids, as well as bite damage, so he's going to get about 1,000 health for biting those creeps, just being an absolute monster. And the red team's just going to win. They're just going to do so much damage to the base, and the missiles and Clunk just kind of taking all of the abuse that Deadlift can throw at them. Lux can't really do much because of the snare traps and the lack of damage that he has, having only one stage of auto attack damage for like that whole game. And that's it. That's the game right there. The first match of the day, or excuse me, not the day, the first match of the set here is going to go to Afternoon Smooth.
Yeah, very good match so far, and it's really interesting. Interesting, just kind of, I guess, seeing like two new teams, new to the scene, come out and have a good match like this. Like, I want to go ahead and mention something, but besides the Clunk, I understand why they first picked Clunk, because Roach Cake is probably one of the best Clunks in the game. Besides that, both comps were actually drafted really traditionally, and isn't really terribly different. Than what you would see in, you know, the draft of, you know, two top teams playing like semifinals or finals. I'm being genuine here. I mean, think about it. It's Agalon. We got Screed, Clunk, and Derpol versus X, Jimmy, and Deadlift. These are very solid comps. And I really like to see like them kind of going in here playing real well. Both teams are aggressive. Both teams wanted to take team fights. You didn't see any kind of cheesy tactics like split laning. They're doing. Excuse me. got a little bit tongue-tied, and they both played their comps really well. I would like to see more damage and BPM being picked up on the blue team. Especially, we wanted that auto attack damage, we wanted that Mice and Mech Pilot. But either way, they've still both played really, really well. Well, Uberancy, do you have any other thoughts on what like the blue team could have done differently?
Well, like I said, missile damage, Micey, and getting auto attack damage a lot earlier in Lux probably would have helped a lot. He was not getting damage, he was getting like shielding and Curry Mammoth, and although that definitely will help you survive, you need to be able to actually get the kills. You need to be able to do damage to these tanks. If you can do like 1,000 damage with missiles every 10 seconds, you should probably just buy Micey, and like maybe you should just buy Micey so you could safely poke those missiles and just, you know, do a ton of extra damage to the tanks. And I don't know, Deadlift was building into a lot of tankiness as well as getting some damage on lunge as well as auto attack. So I feel like Ix should have swapped a little more often, and Lux should have built in the damage sooner. That's what I think they could have done differently.
Yeah. Well, with that said, there is going to be a second match. Do not go anywhere, my friends. We are going to be right back. There is going to be a giveaway in the chat.
But he's not getting me.
welcome back to the Awesomenauts Rumble. My name, sorry, a little bit tongue-tied. My name is Mr. Pillow, and once again joining with me is Uber Rancy. Uber Rancy, hanging in there, sir.
Yes, I am hanging in there from a cliff on a branch. Help me. But yes, I am here, and I am ready to cast more Awesomenauts. We are on the second set of the stream so far with Team Bread and Team Afternoon Smooth. And Afternoon Smooth took the first match of this set, and on Aguilon with Roach Cake getting those fat missile kills. Juggernaut Fat Beats doing about 700 damage with the Salvo Pack OP. But we have another match, and it's not Aguilon for once. We don't have to watch Aguilon. It's a miracle. But we have Soror.
How did that even happen?
I don't know.
Well, first, just a reminder to everyone, we are doing our bet system in the chat. Type red or blue, whoever you think is going to win, and guess correctly to be eligible for a giveaway after the match. With that said, it is Clunk X Deadlift versus Coco Vinny Frog. We've seen this before. We saw high burst comp versus super tanky comp, and Clunk is hard to kill with burst, and then you factor in the X protective pose. Versus 3 knots that just right click and try and get a frag and then have to get out after the consume abilities. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and just give this to the red team right now. The red team has to win this. What can the blue team do against this, Francie?
Die. Is that good enough? Because that red team has a lot of damage. It's Serona, so you got Coco with the Great Poke, and you've got Vinny being pretty much one of the strongest, if not the strongest, not in the game right now. Insane damage. Weekend has been nerfed to 15%, but still good. You've got Silence on dash. You've got like 1200 damage dash if you want. You've got piercing auto attack innately. You've got a unique mobility that's actually pretty good, being able to just go straight through platforms. You can just drop on people real easily. He's very potent. He's very strong. And Coco and Froggy are just going to be that little bit of extra initiation and CC that they need. You can get the slow and stun on Froggy. And you can get the knockback and mini stun on Coco, as well as lots of slow and the DOT. Just be a harasser, which is what Coco does. Well, his team, Afternoon Smooth, has tanks, and that's pretty much it. But we did see what Roach Cake did last match, and he did some serious work. But Aguilon with a Scree on your team and having a Clunk is a lot better than playing Sorona against a high harassing, high damage comp as Clunk. So Team Afternoon Smooth has definitely lost the draft, I'd say. And their comp is just not going to match up to Team Bread's comp. That comp is pretty insane considering who they're fighting. So, do you have anything you want to say about this? I'd say this goes in favor of Team Bread, but we'll have to actually see when we get into the match.
Honestly, the blue team can stick together and maybe use that silence and stun to try and take out the X. That's usually they should be focusing, but it's gonna be so hard. There's gonna be the protective pose. They need to be constantly trying to find the pokes. They need to be constantly putting pressure on the red team, wearing them down so they don't feel comfortable getting into fights. But that's so much easier said than done because they got like half the health that the rest of the team has. So with that said, I think they could do it. Coco needs to land like every lightning ball as soon as it's off cooldown. But that's really all I can see, and honestly, that's all I got. Are you ready to get into the game?
Absolutely. Alright, so, I matched at the 21-second mark. Would you like me to give you a countdown?
Yes, sir. Let me transition right quick. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, let's do it.
Alright, counting down from 3, starting at go. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we have once again Roach Cake playing the Clunk, we got Crafted playing the Deadlift, and we got Namba, the Banana, playing X. On the blue side, you have Pancakes playing the Froggy G, you have Cicho playing the Vinny, and you have the Garlic Lord playing the Coco.
Yeah, and we've got the gates opening up, the creeps ready to be killed, and everybody is ready to go in. So Pancakes and Garlic Bread are going to go actually looks like he's going to go for the swap, but not going to be able to hit it. Banana not getting that swap in time. Nuke is going to come out, going to hit Vinny, it seems like, and do a bit of damage there, but here's the lightning ball doing a solid 400 damage, plus that DOT. Nothing to scoff at. especially with that low cooldown. With the cooldown ball, Gyroscopic Dynamo is going to do some serious work, and Roach Cake not going to get hit by that lightning ball, just barely. Will the blue team? They have tons of damage. If they just collapse on someone, and Deadlift doesn't have his protective pose, or Ix doesn't have his swap, which he just used there, they can pretty much insta-give anyone they want. They really got to coordinate for it, though. But Roach Cake is going to pick up the kill on Garlic Bread, and just, well, that's an easy frag for him. And Roach Cake just trying to go in with the missiles and the bite on Froggy, not going to be able to really hit anything. There's a nice damage from Vinny's dive. They're going to do about 500 damage. Pancakes going to fall back, watching out for that Ix swap as he used it. Now it doesn't have Bond for a couple of seconds. But Froggy just getting the auto attack pokes. Yeah, get those 6 damage shots onto Ix there. And we've got the swap onto Clunk in order to heal up his friendly little teammate. There's the dive coming out. Not actually going to hit Ix, but it's going to do a lot of damage to Deadlift there. And the Blaze on the jump pad. Going to make taking that a little more precarious, with Roach Cake taking a good amount of damage. The blue team is keeping some pressure up. They did die, like, Garlic Bread did die once, but they are keeping the pressure up. They are getting the lightning balls, and he dives in order to do solid damage here and there. And with the cooldown ball, they just need to just keep throwing their burst out there and doing a ton of damage. Garlic not going to get hit by that explode surprisingly, and then there's the lightning ball in retaliation. And now everybody on the red team is very hurt. Blue team is going to go steal their creeps as well, just to make it even more difficult. Roach not being able to land those bites, and Ix going to take a lot of damage. There's the swap on a Coco though. Oh, the snare bite and the explode, and she is done.
That's why you don't drop off in front of a turret when there's in front of the enemy turret and the Clunk is sitting right there with CC. It's not the best option, especially when you're Coco and don't have an escape move. But that's going to be another clean 1-for-0 in favor of the red team. And they're not really getting any push off this. I don't know. Also, I couldn't tell you why they're not going in. In fact, Garlic's just farming the worm right now. They should be pressuring hard. We're going to see the Splash Dash up right there. Excuse me, I said the girl lower, but that was Seichel. And now Seichel's just trying to find the pressure. He's going to get bonded here. He's not going to get swapped because the Splash Dash cancel coming out from Pancakes. The explosion's going to come down. It's not going to hit anything. This is the blue team's fight. They're going to get find a lightning ball. They should be able to hopefully find a Splash Dash Spike Dive combo, and they're going in dealing a lot of damage. But the protective pose is going to come back in, and it's actually going to allow them to pick up a frag on Pancakes by just DPSing them down and getting those auto attacks. And he's going to dodge the Deadlift there using the Vinny Spike Dive. And that's going to be still leaving the blue team in a 2v3 scenario. But this time, at least the red team has mid-control. They're trying to find some sort of push, but they're not able to find it. There comes the explode, and it's going to land on the Garlic Lord, who's now going to get taken out by the Ix. And that's going to be another 1-for-0 in favor of the red team. They're starting to show signs of a snowball. They're starting to get some solar in their pockets. They've got almost 2-level advantage. They just kind of need to smith this down, and this might be their game if they can smith their early game here, because the blue team is not good on defense except for Cloud and except for Lightning Ball. We see Seichel going around, seeming to be in Spike Dive in for a flank, but he's not going to hit anything with it. There goes the explode off the jump pad, also not going to hit anything. Garlic Lord hitting people with Blaze, not going to hit the lightning ball. And a bunch of whiffs there in that particular fight, and the blue team is just going to back up and try and get some breathing room. We got this Froggy G build. We see actually Turbo Tapes and Boombox, which is interesting. It's cost efficient, so to speak, but not the easiest to land, especially when you consider the amount of CC that the red team is packing. I think building the Splash Dash and Ninja Worms would be the optimal choice here. We see full damage coming out on Vinny and Spike, and we see a bag of Goldfish and a Piggy Bank and a Chrome File, actually, of all things. I really want to see silence come out on them because they can silence that protective pose and that explode and all that. Like, look at it right here. Here, Garlic taking so much damage they have to leave. They can't get any auto attacks in or anything. The silence just buys them a little bit of time. Seichel is doing the right thing. Him or Frog should be the ones farming the worm, preferably Vinny, even though Frog does it a bit more safely. But as long as they can find that reasonably and comfortably, then it totally makes sense for them to go in and do that. Uberancy, we're kind of seeing a bunch of hot shots coming out. How does the blue team find the fight that they can commit to? And definitely not like that, how Seichel just got picked off there. But besides that,
well, they just need to, I feel like they need to coordinate a little more. Everybody's just kind of jumping around the map here. Coco's been landing the lightning balls when she needs to, and the red team has been kind of, been in situations where they've been really low health, like Roach Cake, for example, here. They've been low health, and all they really need to do is just have everybody, just right-click at the same time. Just have, Vinny going with the dive. Well, actually, no, just have Froggy going with the dive, or the dash, excuse me, and then Vinny going with the dive, and if that doesn't kill him, just auto-attack down, make sure you dodge the bite or any CC. because you're all mobile characters, and maybe you have Coco throwing in another lightning ball because it's on cooldown. It's off cooldown every like 4 seconds. But when the lightning ball misses like that you can't do that. And now Roach Cake is gonna be able to get out and live another day like that. Like, if they just coordinated the burst a little bit, and Coco had landed that lightning ball, done. First kill of the game for them. But because they absolutely have, they're losing pretty badly right now, but they absolutely, in my opinion, have a better comp for this. They just have to focus on landing their damage on one target, maybe 2, and just getting it done like that. Boom. That's how you do it. Pancake's getting a nice kill with the dash and tornado. Going to be able to pick up the first frag for the blue team finally. They need to keep that up. They got no deadlift, so they don't have the protective post. He's wasted nuke, and now they can maybe pick off Ix or Clunk there if they can get some coordination going. They got some nice push coming out on bottom and top, though. They're going to have to clear top, though. Roach Cake's going to go in, just right-click them. But no, there's the dash coming out onto Ix, but he was in refract. But there you go, the spike dive.
Oh, they exploded off the jump pad, though. That was savage.
Almost kills Pancakes.
This is a beautiful explode off the jump pad, that lip side under the top lane there, and actually hits both of them. He goes in and picks up the double kill. That was savage. Someone's trying to make top 5 plays video gathers. Oh my gosh, look at that. He almost found the triple kill.
2 salvo kills. Two salvo kills, no problem. He almost got the bite on Cecil Red there too. Oh man. But Roach Cake going in and going ham. There's the bite and the salvo and the nuke. He's done. Just killing everybody. Roach Cake is just going in. Like, the blue team has the better comp, but Roach Cake is playing so well, getting all these nice bites and nukes. He's landing his bites. A good Clunk can land his bites like almost all the time, and Roach Cake is definitely doing that. He's landing the bites when he needs to, gets the salvo and gets the snare and health he needs. And it's just getting it done. Here comes the explode, just gonna do a bit of damage to the tower. That's gonna bait Frog into the dash, but Craft is gonna take a lot of damage. Your one lightning ball could finish him off. Nandroid going in with the refract, but there comes the lightning ball. It is going to hit Namba, and now he's super low, but Coco's not gonna be able to finish the job, but Vinny is getting the spike dive kill, and Roach Cake very low, gonna have to back off and teleport. We got Crafted versus the world, actually just gonna go back to the base and heal up. Blue team finally being able to get some clear and push with that spike dive missing the droids. Well played by Cecil Bread, but they can get some split push going here, but they gotta get it going now. Coco is going back to heal, that's not what you should be doing, but either way, they are going to get a little bit of push on these towers here, just a little bit here, there, a couple of bars, but every bit helps. And Serona, thing about Serona is the matches tend to either be really short or really long. Oh, Roach Cake picking up another frag on Cecil Bread with the explode by the jump pad, just getting all just what is he doing, the madman, getting all this work done.
Yeah, like, I wish you could kind of see assistant replays, because I'm pretty sure most of these have been kind of solo kills. Like, it's not to say that Clunk or the rest of the team isn't doing anything, but Clunk is like not really needing that much setup. Like right there, it gets exploded. That was actually really nice. They knocked him back, but so did the deadlift knock the frog back and actually managed to pick it up. That's where the team play comes in. Right there, another one for nothing. That snare caught him in the middle of a dash. Again, that's that very precise timing. We actually see Slow getting picked up on Clunk as well. That's gonna really help him lock down the enemy team. It's a pretty sure how much is the slow? It's 20% per stage. He only has 1 stage so far. Even 20% is significant. Once he has 40%, like, dude, that is like hard CC. That locks Frog and Vinny down when they try and just cheekily just kind of splash dash and spike dive through the enemy team. And now Ix is taking a fight here. He's going to swap the Frog into the turret. And now that's going to be a big fight coming out. There's going to be explosion. It's going to be Whip, though. And Garlic's trying to stay on Roach Cake. Trying to find the lightning ball. Doesn't find it, unfortunately. And now they're going to have to back up. The red team going to go in. Try and pick a fight here. Try and get them to stay baited. And there comes the lightning balls in the blaze. The Vinny taking a bunch of damage. Deadlift going back in. Taking the creeps. And he's...
Oh, jeez.
Doesn't look like a good fight. But he's got the protective pose. And he uses that to spike dive in. Then he gets the hill burst with the lightning ball. It's going to ultimately take him off. But in the meantime, on the top lane, the Roach Cake is going to be exploding on Pancakes and taking up another frag up on that side. Now we see a bond coming out here, but the bite is going to be a whiff. It looks like he actually didn't expect his teammate to bond there, and now he's going to come out, but the explode was out the jump pad. That was, oh my god, this madman. That was so
the bite too on Coco. Getting that 500 damage bite while she's hitting the jump pad. Now Coco's going to have to defend. You're going to get the lightning ball. There, misses the bite on Coco. Otherwise, I would have been a kill guaranteed. But the turret is going to go down. Roach Cake taking too much damage. Not going to be able to get the bite off in time. And finally goes down. Pancake's getting the last hit with that auto attack. But Roach Cake putting in the work. and getting 8 kills and doing about he's doing way more damage than anyone else in the game right now. The next closest thing is Coco, and she's behind by about solid like 10,000 damage. Now not so much, she's been doing a little more damage to droids. But now look at that upgrade list that Clunk just got. Double missile damage and Juggernaut Fat Beat and 1 Sage of Nuke damage. If he wasn't already scary enough, there you go. Now he's terrifying. But yeah, we've got the red team just kind of regrouping. They got the Super Droid in the top lane near the mid. And Pancakes. Oh, there's the bite onto Seachel Bread, but he's not going to hit the nuke or the missiles. But a lot of damage. Roach Cake very hurt now, though. He's going to have to be careful. There's the bite onto Pancakes. So 369 damage times 2 from Salvo is absolutely insane. Not going to hit the bite onto Coco, though. And Super Droid is going to be on the top lane. And Roach Cake just going to farm the worm. And Seachel Bread going to pick up the kill on Crafted. But the nuke is going to come in and get the kill anyways. The lightning ball is going to miss. But now Ix is super hurt. Oh, the double Salvo missiles almost kills Coco. 360 damage times 2. Roach is just gonna be able to teleport out. Coco was so hurt there. He almost got that frag. Coco had like 10 health. It was so close. That would have been amazing. But still, Roach Cake able to get out and do quite a bit of damage, just doing some insane work for the red team here. Although Ix and Deadlift did go down there, the blue team's not really going to be able to get any push because of all the droids the red team has pushed up. And here comes Roach Cake once again, going in with the missiles, trying to get the bite. There's 369 damage on the Salvo. That's just so terrifying from an auto attack. It's insane. But Garlic really low health here. But we got Roach Cake just trying to get something done. The bite on Froggy. No, he's going to get dashed through. And just going to bite the droids instead. Well, we got Pancakes falling back. And the protective pose going to get burnt out. Seachel Bread going to be able to dive out of that explode radius. And the the dash coming in on Roach Cake. A little bit of damage. They just use the jump out to get out. Crafted's about to go down here. It looks like we have 1 auto attack from Froggy. And he is done. Got the drive-by strats. But Froggy now going to, well, looks like he's just hiding in the mid area here looking for someone. There's Ix there. But all the Salvo and the nuke. It doesn't matter. Roach Cake doesn't care about the blue team's comp or their plays. It doesn't matter to him. None of it does. He just kills. He's just murdering everybody on the blue team here, getting so much work done, so much damage, and 10 frags right now, 10 kills. It's just insane. Getting the bites on these droids, clearing nicely. Just rich as well. He's got double regen. He just needs like the nuke damage and extra stage is slow, and he's a monster already. Oh, and they explode. Oh, the knockback ball. That was really well played by Coco. The knockback ball is going to save Pancakes from that nuke there and keep all of the blue team alive with them catching up in the experience as well, now having the same level despite being a little bit behind in XP still. Crafted in a really bad spot. He's got the protective pulse, but he's going to take so much damage. The swap is going to give him some extra health though. But 1 right click from anyone will kill him. The lightning ball is going to get the kill on Crafted, but Roach Cake is going to pick the kill on Seachel Bread before that happens. But making that a 1-for-1. But here comes the Salvo doing a ton of damage. Actually, doesn't look like that was a Salvo missile, but still 378, nothing to scoff at. 1 bite on that Froggy, and he's most likely dead. There's the swap. Oh, the Salvo and the nuke. Oh, the nuke is going to pick up the frag on Pancakes. 12 kills. It's not even surprising anymore. Roach Cake is just destroying everything.
Indeed, and oh, here comes another swap. That's so clean, man. That's like a Genji kick in at that point.
Oh my god.
Swap into the explode. At this point, they're just racking it up, man. And they're doing a really good job of it. Oh, no. Oh! It's a little slippery little beaver there. He's got a bag of goldfish, which is actually, the Codfather, which increases his auto attack damage by a whole 35% when he's close to an enemy carrying 150 or more solar.
Well, Roach Cake is definitely doing that.
He definitely can't really, rub up against them. Oh
my god, Roach Cake, no, why? He got the Salvo missiles on to Seachel Bread, and Ix was able to pick up the frag, but Anamba is gonna go down anyways. Garlic Bread not gonna hit the lightning ball. Roach essentially getting 2 kills there.
But now he'd get warmed. He had a chance where he could have prime back to that health, and I think he could have just kept cutting deadlift while trying to, lightning ball the droids and stuff, lightning ball deadlift, but he kind of take some more control over it. He is getting the lanes pushed up regardless. I just like to see him put some more pressure, I guess is the best way to put it, on on the deadlift while he advances, so he can hopefully get a little bit more, but it doesn't look like he's going to get that much more turret chip going. Pancakes and Roach Cake both joining the fray. Explode, it's going to be whip. Protective pose is going to be progged. This is a good opportunity for the blue team to go in, but instead we're just going to see Garlic Lord teleport home. I would have really liked to have seen them try to take something. Now we're going to see Swap coming out, and then we're going to see the spike dive happen up and Explode going to come out onto the Garlic Lord, and it's actually going to be a whip, and now Neva's going to be at 50% HP, and now look at how
HP damage is so hurt.
He's trying to get out.
He's got 70
health.
Oh,
the juice!
No way.
Oh,
wow.
Man, that was actually nice. Clunk homing missiles next upgrade.
Oh, Roach Cake. Oh, he doesn't hit the explode, but he gets the stuff. What are you doing?
I think he thought he had Coco bonded.
Banana, you fool. I'm never eating bananas again because of you. How could you? Costing Roach Cake that drag. Could have made it 15, but it doesn't matter because Garlic Bread is going to go down anyways to Crafted's lunge there and the auto attacks. Roach Cake's just going around with his jump pad trying to get maybe a bite on Froggy. Pancake's just doing whatever, going to get the dash and the NATO onto Nanba, but the dash is going to be enough to kill him. And Deadlift going in. Not going to be able to really do anything though, but the turret is about to go down. Like, the bottom turret for the blue team is actually almost dead. Droids are just kind of chipping away at it here. And Crafted just kind of doing whatever with the protective pose, but now we've got Coco coming back in. And with Ix dead, they're trying to get a bit of a push in, but Crafted's just going to stand there and die. But the turret is almost dead. The bite not quite going to land on Bread, and now Roach Cake has zero abilities.
Almost see him
oh my god!
There's the bite in the salvo. That's what I was thinking. He can take out the frags, but now he can't get Lenny Bell and Kaida. He needs to find the bite. He finds it on the droids, not on Garlic. Ix is going to come in behind, and he's actually trying to push that. He's going to dodge the lightning ball. Now he's going to go back in and finish
that. There's the turret.
No, where's my splash?
Oh my god!
No,
Oh, the lightning ball.
Pancakes hesitated. That's what he did wrong there. Like, these guys got so afraid of them even though he was low, and it's like, guys, man, just go in, use that stun to finish him off, get the lightning ball, get the dash NATO, and that would have been a kill before the stun wore off. Unfortunately, they got, I think, just a bit too nervous, and now Roach Cake's their full health, just continuously to brawl them out. Look at that explode, and a very great swap, finding the time needed to make sure they didn't get dodged. Initially afraid of a spike dive here, and now he's taking a lot of damage. Please tell me Roach Cake dies here. Thank you.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, there's the double kill coming out from Siegel.
Why is Crafted going in? Crafted, please. He's just gonna. The protective pulse is gonna go down. He's not gonna be able to pick up the kill on Siegel. If he gets away. Okay, no longer a god, just a demigod. But very good to pick up a frag. That's a wipe for the blue team here. Delayed wipe. Doesn't actually show up in game, but that doesn't matter because it's effectively the same thing, and the blue team is just going to buy this bottom turret with Coco and Froggy doing plenty of structure damage here, and the turret is going to go down with the top turret, and they're going to try and get some damage on that, but they got to clear these droids, and the red team is now back and ready to fight with Roach Cake, just kind of doing whatever, and going to get those bites on the droids, get those clear bites and missiles and what's not. Going to look for a bite for maybe on the Froggy here. He's gonna mispredict, and he's not gonna be able to hit the Froggy prediction that he was gonna go to the right and not left. But Roach Cake, gonna take a bit of damage there. Siegel Red, he's not gonna hit the bite on Siegel Red, but now he's hurt. He's gonna have to go grab the health pack. Well, Siegel is actually got the amp damage on him. He's got to be careful here with Crafted going in with the projective pose and the lunge. Not gonna be able to really do anything though. Just kind of being a distraction. But there's the jump pad nuke, just gonna annihilate Siegel. But Crafted is now super hurt. Gonna have to fall back behind the turret. Oh, we got Roach kind of doing whatever he wants, looking for a bite. The swap on Pancakes, but he's gonna swap him away from Roach Cake's bite. Well, it might have not connected anyways, and now Roach Cake just kind of standing in the mid, waiting for the droids to push up. Well, Deadlift goes and clears bottom, finally dealing with this super droid and these normal droids down here. And we've got Pancakes and Garlic looking for maybe some kind of co-op initiation or something, but they gotta wait for their teammate here, who's gonna be back in just a moment, just in the shop now. Maybe gonna buy some, doesn't look like he could keep that solar so that he can get the bag of goldfish. And well, not too much happening. Garlic maybe trying to get the bait with the teleport. It's a lot of footsie nuts right now. But they're like, the blue team is just scared of Roach Cake, and the red team doesn't want to like screw up the initiation because the blue team has so much damage right now. Oh, here comes the dive onto Nanba. He's gonna take a lot of damage.
And they might be able to go in here. Clunk is actually at 50% HP, and they're bunning him. But look at that, 520 HP, and look at health just disappeared, and he's got the full 9 yards.
Oh my god!
He's got the region.
Oh, the dive finally takes. Oh, this is just weird. Don't worry about it.
You know what you know what he got? He got full damage NATO too. And either Arbe or Can't Touch This would be really helpful here. If he could get that shield, or if he could be able to reflect that salvo, that could be really, really helpful to take on this Clunk. If he went for full damage instead, I mean, how often is he gonna like land tweeters on a Clunk without killing himself? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's exactly what he should have been going there. Honestly, all things considered, I would have. The Coco was a really good pickup here, but something like Rocco, even of all things, I think would have been a really, really, really nice last pick. Like, just imagine just how much poke and harass they would constantly be doing all that kiting. But that's not here or there. It is a frog, and the frog's gonna be dashing them down. But here comes the explode, and it's gonna hit 2 of them and deal 1,100 damage. It's just scales so well. But the XP advantage is actually currently with the blue team. And they actually have a level advantage despite being behind for the majority of the game. And we actually see droids walking down here. That is a big set of droids. They're going to have to fall back. That actually should hopefully give the blue team a chance to go in and push the top turret a little bit. And it was good awareness, making sure that they didn't let them get snuck up on. We see the Clunk actually picking up pills and more damage and life still on the bite. And there, but it's not gonna be enough to prevent him from not getting picked up by the Froggy G. Pancakes going in. Spike Dive is not gonna be in a defensive one. It's gonna be an aggressive one, but he's gonna get picked up. But Craft is gonna go down in exchange, turning it into a 1-for-2. And then Garlic Lord and Pancakes making sure that they got him off the jump pad. The lightning ball almost fishing him out right there on the creep. Just barely came short. I really like the effort there. And he goes in, hits another one. Garlic Lord's pretty low. He can't really do that again. Hopefully they'll get some good push on this turret. I don't know how much more they get. Namba's leaving it alone for a little bit now, but Clunk's about to be back in the lane. He is fully dropped, coming off the jump pad right now. And yeah, they're going to disengage here. And looks like they got a tiny bit of chip on the top turret, on the back turret, like half a bar. So, you know, it's something that helps out here. With that said, we're really getting into the nitty gritty. I'm pretty sure Clunk is maxed. I'm counting, yeah, I see 3 bite upgrades, I see 3 auto, yeah, he's maxed. He has, he didn't piggy bank either, you know, he's got everything, all the stages. Ix is almost there, then Coco, and then everyone else is really not close to being maxed.
600 damage bite, oh my god. This bite does 626 damage to a single target, that's insane.
It really is.
Just try to go in for the bites and the salvo.
And, the Weakened Cloud could actually make a big difference here. That just got picked up. That's going to reduce all the damage of the red team by 15%. And that could actually help turn things around. Not enough to protect Seachel, though. Unfortunately, he got a good Weakened Cloud in there, but they didn't really take the fight. Right, they didn't really commit. Here goes the drop explode. It's going to hit Garlic Lord right in front of the base. And there comes 666 damage from Salvo onto it. Starting to poke it down. Look, there's a very nice tweeter bomb there with the dash cleanup. That's the old school Froggy G pickup there. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. He dodges the fight. He's going in for another splash. He's trying to use his ability as soon as they come off cooldown, but I don't think he can do it. That's going to be a good game. And the winners of this set is going to be Afternoon Smooth. They will be moving on. Dude, that Clunk is 17-5. Where are these fools saying that Clunk is not viable and competitive right now? Honestly and truly.
Oh, jeez. That was pretty insane. Roach Cake was just putting in the work with the bites and nukes. It just so much damage. That one sort of delayed double kill there with the bite into salvo just on the Froggy and Coco there was just, jeez, it was insane. He has been putting in some work for this, and well, I mean there was a lot of things the blue team could have done. I feel like the blue team still had a really good comp against the red team here, but Roach Cake was just doing too good. Like he was just outplaying his opponent too much, and. Well, I mean, like, you know, maybe Froggy building into a shield on NATO instead and going for, like, you know, maybe Ninja Worms and Dash earlier on to help him stay a little safer. And Coco going for max ball damage instead of knockback. Though knockback did help save him a couple of times, I have to admit. It did save him and his teammates a handful of times. But either way, I feel like the blue team should have had the better draft. Maybe I was completely wrong and I'm the fool and the idiot here. But either way, that was fantastically played by all the red team, by Namba, Roach Cake, and Crafted, putting in the serious work, and Roach Cake just hard carrying with 17-5. Insane.
Yeah, definitely. And that was kind of like one of the most dominant performances we've seen in a match in a long time. It was really good, like, seeing two new teams come out like this and try and get pretty good comps going on. Considering that this is the first tournament from both of these teams, they really had really good teamwork that you usually don't. The synergy they had doesn't typically develop until kind of people play a bunch of matches together. So the fact that they were able to find this in their first tournament foray is pretty impressive, to be honest. And Afternoon Smooth is a team that actually came together through the looking for team functions on the Awesomenauts Rumble portal. All three of them joined that channel solo and managed to find each other just using the looking for team chat there. And now here they are advancing to another round in the tournament match, and you know, getting some respect here, honestly. So there's my Scrim portal plug. There's the put it in the proof right there. I think that's the expression. That said, that was a really good match. We're gonna take a short break, and then we're gonna come back with some more familiar players. It's gonna be a terribly named team. That's Jazz123C, Triggerfinger, Lucopal, versus Team Elderberries. That's Edster, Cannoli, and Slaughter High. Do not go anywhere, my friends.